Hello! Hello, everybody. What's up, guys? How we all doing? Welcome, one and all, to another random live stream. Kind of random. We kind of planned this one. Sort of, maybe. As close to planning as I get. So, as usual, quick sound check. How we doing? Is everything okay? Can you guys hear music? Can you guys hear Cherry Coke Zero? Can you guys hear my face? How is everybody? Oh, what's up, Lefty? We got members in the building. Kit Kat Catsy's already here. Rexo's channel. Rexo's up in the building. What's up, Noah? What's up, Mochi? What's up, the girl reanimal? Puppy Queen, how are you doing? Step, we got legends in the chat as well. What's up, Step? Hello, Gaius. Hello, Stinkles. Hello, Skeleton Kalik. A lot of regulars up in the building today. Nikki Gibbs as well. Derek Langley, what's up, Derek? How you doing? I haven't seen you for a while. I'm glad you're still kicking it with us. What's up, Billy Bob 149? Alex Smallwood as well. Darian Sanchez. No, Dariana Sanchez. My apologies. I am trying to read way too quick and I'm way too thirsty. It is hot where I live here in the United Kingdom and I love it. Everyone's complaining, everyone's furious, and I get it because it's hot, like it's obnoxiously hot. Like I'm even in a shirt today. I wore a shirt today because I quite like the heat. I don't mind. I'm a complete reptile, so I'm sitting here with like 8 lights burning my face at the same. Like I actually have the lights on as well. Like, see, but yeah, it's actually blazing sunshine outside. I have these really lovely blackout curtains, but the downside to having a room that's covered, it's literally the whole room apart from the wall behind me is entombed in acoustic foam. So it's very hot. It's very hot in here right now. I think it's like 31.5 degrees Celsius in here at the moment. Oh, we're in trouble. A Little Nightmares shirt. Yes, a Little Nightmares 3 shirt. Little Nightmares 3 shirt for the win. Yeah, man. T-shirt today. T-shirt merch. Grand Console Gemini. Yeah, today, guys, we are going to go through a little something. Basically, I think we should make a start on developing the storyline. So what we're going to be working on, well, what we have been working on this entire community project where we've designed, you know, the character and the monsters and the hotel environment and everything, our own little branch of the nowhere that we're trying to wrangle. Today, I am going to fire up my actual recording software, but also editing software. And I'm just going to slap a couple of bits in there. This stuff won't be in the actual video. It's just to give you guys an idea of the creative process, because what we're going to try and nail down today is a series of events. So a way to make the game run, or the episode run, linearly, if you get. W shirt, yes. It is honestly, it straight up is a little oven here. I will sweat. I absolutely will. It's not that I don't sweat. It's not I don't feel the heat. I do. I just enjoy it. I like the heat. I will actively spend a lot of time in saunas and steam rooms and things like that. It's a comfortable environment. But if you get me in the cold, it's another story. I'm a wimp. I can't stand the cold. I hate it. Like yesterday, it was thunder and lightning outside, and I really needed to go shopping because I ran out of food. Like, full stop, out of food. Nothing. Zero, zilch. No coke. Zero, no butter, no bread, no milk, no nothing. Not a morsel of food to eat in this house. I almost resorted to eating my gnome. So I had to go shopping. But it was thunder and lightning, and it was raining, and it was miserable, and it was unhappy. I was just like, oh, why can't it just be hot? But everyone else was really happy that it was raining. A lot of W people in the chat today, Catsy. There often is. We have a great community here. Is the jiggler here? I hope not. I actually wouldn't mind seeing a concept of the jiggler drawn though. It's 73 degrees Fahrenheit where I am. That's about 30, right? That's about 30 degrees here. I'm gonna have to look that up. 70. What did you say? 78 degrees? 73 degrees. Sorry, 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, it's only 22. Well, I say only 22. It's still hot. But yeah, in here it's currently 30 plus. In the sauna I normally go in, it's 80 though. Don't get me wrong, I'm only in there for like an hour, but it's still pretty brutal. In fact, I'm not. When it's 80, I'm not in there for an hour. I probably do half an hour, like at the higher end. Normally, you're only supposed to do like 10 or 15 minutes, but I get so comfortable in there that I just lay down and stay there for ages. But there's a super hot sauna where I go as well, and it's like 90 to 100 degrees, and I can only pull like half an hour in that at the best. But I like having little competitions with people down there. It's kind of like, it does nothing for you. It's like, well, it does. There are health benefits to spending a long time in heat and being in the sauna and everything like that, but only really if you work out, because I use it for active recovery. But yeah, there is like an actual heat wave here right now, and it's causing tropical storms, because that's what happens when cold hair meets hot hair like mine. Today I woke up feeling like absolute crap. My nose was clogged, my eyes were itchy, and I feel like I can't sleep. Well, that sucks, because that sounds like you've got summertime blues. It's like, you know, where it's too hot and uncomfortable, so you just feel stuffy and exhausted, and everything's a problem. You're just like really tired and really defeated. From the minute you wake up, you don't feel refreshed, you feel clammy, you feel gross. You go in the shower, you get out of the shower, it's still too hot because you're sweating 5 minutes afterwards anyway. Teacher's invasive teacher allegory was not executed well, since we never see it actually in game. Creepy though. Supervisor was the first to genuinely scare me, but the puppeteer had me shivering. Puppeteer was really, really good. I really like all of the characters in that list. I have my favourites, obviously. If I could vote, I can't vote on my own poll, I'd vote for the teacher. The teacher, for me, she hits, right? She hits right. The puppeteer... Oh, for me, it's a toss-up between the puppeteer and the supervisor, because I know that it was sort of Little Nightmares 3 was met with controversy, and they argued that the supervisor was like the least realistic or least fitting character next to Monster Baby. I really liked the supervisor. I thought she was awesome. I really liked her design. I really liked her nature. Like, she was just horrible. She was horrible. She was fast. She was nerve-wracking, because you never felt comfortable with the supervisor around. You didn't feel like you had a safe space with the supervisor, because she could get you anywhere, right? Gemini surviving as if it were the nowhere. Yeah, straight up I was. That's really how I feel. You know what's weird as well is I nearly recorded the street I was walking down, because I started humming the Little Nightmares theme as I was walking along. It was like just walking along like that, looking around the town, because when I was walking through the rain in the night yesterday, it really did look like the Pale City, because my city is all like dilapidated and worn down and warped, and like all the like a lot of the streets are abandoned, and a lot of the like it's just like rows and rows of desolate houses, you know, with and anyone living in them you don't want to meet. It's crazy. It was such a vibe. I kind of digged it. Let me switch over. No worries, switch over to your laptop. You're all good. Isn't it supposed to be summer in merry old April? Yeah, it is, Iggy. It certainly is. It's summertime here right now. It is currently June, and to us that is pretty much like the dead of summer. It's like late June, July. That's like peak summer, kinda. Two supercells approaching the Netherlands. Oh, you are cooked, Step. Oh, dude. Like, genuinely be careful, though, right? Like, I really do. Weather needs to be respected. Like, you need to take nature seriously. I know that most of you guys do because none of you are idiots. Well, most of you. I won't name names because that's mean. But you know who you are because you do it on purpose. But weather is so dangerous and people highly underestimate it, myself included. I was talking on the phone to my friend the other day about the worst pain I've ever been in, and I've spent weeks in hospital being operated on. I've been clinically dead. I've been hooked up to a blood transfusion machine and had to learn how to walk again, and all of those things pale in comparison to the freaking sunburn I got one time. And you know what's weird? I went to Greece. I've been to Greece, and it was like this island called Rhodes, and it was a heat wave in Greece. It was stupid hot. Like we went to climb this monument. It was like a monument, like an ancient temple kind of thing at the top of a mountain, and people were getting donkeys up there and stuff. And they had ambulances situated at the top of this thing because people were passing out in the street. Like, they were passing out on the way up because it was so hot, and I was fine. I was doing great. I had my factor 50 plus on, like literal children's friggin' sun cream because I burn like I burn like you wouldn't believe, and I had a great time and it was wonderful and I was very conscious of it. And then, like years later, I went to do some work with a friend and I was doing some work in the back garden, just moving some heavy things around. He's like, I want these bricks over there. So I spent about an hour moving those bricks over there. And when I came back in the house, I had a sunburn all of the back of my arms, like all of my tricep from my shoulder down to my elbow was burned. But it blistered and I got something called the devil's itch. And it was honestly, it's hard to put into words how bad it is because you think, grow up, it was a bit itchy, it was a bit hot. It was so bad I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't work, and I had to scratch it because it was so ridiculously itchy. But it was peeling layers upon layers of flesh off to the point where it still has scarring in certain areas where I was just like pulling big sloughs of skin off and it was just blood and blisters for about 3 weeks. I had to go to hospital. It was horrible. And it was literally just I didn't put on any sun cream. That was it. I went out in the garden for an hour and I forgot to put on sun cream, like, or sun lotion, whatever you guys call it. It was brutal. But anyway, enough of the weather. It's hot, we get it, but we're here with purpose. So let's have a little look. I've got my folders and stuff open on screen. You guys can't see at the moment because I'm trying to make sure that, because my video editor had to do update, and I think it's done, so that's good. Let me just read a couple of things. You would hate the Pale City, bro. Yeah, I would. I actually would as well, because it's miserable and cold, and I live there. Gemma, I wanted to let you know, I asked Katsy to modify the design of my groundskeeper carrier. Yeah, that's totally fine, no problem. As long as Katsy's alright with it, that's totally cool. Anything is transactional between you guys, none of my business. If you have a character design, you want it done a certain way, and Katsy's capable of doing that, you guys are welcome to communicate, and I'll just middleman. But yeah, that's fine. As long as Katsy's cool with it, I'm cool with it. Have you seen that Resident Evil Code Veronica's getting a remake? I have, puppy. I'm really excited, and so are a couple of my friends. Mr. Tibbs and the Notorious Base are chomping at the bit to get on this thing. They cannot wait to get their hands on a new Code Veronica remake. I'm very interested, but I didn't play the original Code Veronica. Honestly, this is blasphemy. I didn't put a lot of stock in it. I know. I didn't think much to Code Veronica. I always thought it was a bit of a spin-off. It was something to do with the fact that it wasn't a number in the series, put me off playing it real early on, and I never got round to it. I've seen it played a lot now, and I respect it for what it is, but it's just so... It's so old now that it's difficult for me to appreciate after playing like Resident Evil 4 Remake or Resident Evil Requiem. But that's where the Veronica remake comes in, because I'm definitely going to be getting into that. Will I need my drawing stuff? Rexo, I absolutely would get your drawing stuff out if I was you, because I think all the artists in here are going to be doing a little scribble today. You know what I think would be interesting? Setting up as a little... yes, a safari or a zoo. A zoo actually came up one time in a conversation I was having with somebody else a long time ago. But I was thinking the animals... I don't know. I noticed that Little Nightmares in particular leans away from animals. Like, if we do ever see animals in the nowhere, they're very passive, and it's just like, you know, rats, and they scurry away when you get near them, or the moths. The only like other animal that we really see, like, and actively do combat with is the beetles in the necropolis, I suppose. I know there was a moose. And it wasn't animated or anything, but it could have been at one point, and the pigs as well. Some of the early concept art for Little Nightmares 2 had some really interesting animal concepts out in the wilderness that I think were repurposed for Reanimal, but I couldn't say. Honestly. Went to Corfu. Chat moved. Would love to go to Rhodes. Rhodes is beautiful, but it's such an old man place. Like, I went to Rhodes because it's quiet, right? It's notoriously quiet. It's scenic, it's ancient, and all there is museums and ruins, and that's it. And loads of cruise ships. Loads of cruise ships. I tell you what's really weird about the island of Rhodes, though, is there's one path along the seafront. Like, you go like, well, it's an island, so the seafront goes all the way around. But there's one particular area near Faliraki, and it's a strip of land where there's just ships, loads of ships, and all of the ships' owners will sit on the harbour on one side of the street, offering their businesses, selling, you know, expensive bottles of wine or cruises or glass bottom boats and things like that. And these are all like ship owners and yacht owners and everything like that. And then directly opposite, literally on the other side of the street, there is just an entire row of refugees and people who've crossed the border, and they're literally sitting there begging in the street. Like, there's people sitting there with children and stuff like that, and they're begging with their hands out and going up to like tourists and everything passing by, and like catching up. This like random African lady grabbed my arm and started like wrapping me up, and the person I was with was like, no. She was like, no, it's a gift for you, a gift for you. And I was like, oh, a gift for me, that's really lovely. About 10 minutes later, she cursed me and said, give me money for Africa. So I left, and then she shouted some curses at me down the street that I didn't understand. I didn't really get it, but my guide did. But yeah, it was crazy because we got like the desperately poor and the filthy rich, and they just sit there and stare at each other all day. It was really awkward walking down the middle. Like, which side do I belong on? Because I don't want to go on this side because the refugees keep attacking me and trying to take money off me. But the millionaires are no better, because I'm walking past them and they're like, do you want to go on a cruise, sir? Would you like a bottle of wine, sir? Would you like to come on our ship, sir? Would you like to go to our creepy island, sir? Like, hell no, I'm gonna take my chances with the traffic. Screw you guys. It was so weird. I didn't stay out very long that day. I did get to drive one of the ships, though. Not drive. I got to play with the wheel a little bit, and then the captain went, no, because he caught me. I've been clinically dead, but this sunburn is crazy. Legit though, that is no joke how I feel, because when I was clinically dead, I didn't know. I'd been put under for an operation, and during the operation I bled out because I'm anemic, so if I get like a paper cut, I'll bleed for hours. So when they opened me up to do like the invasive internal surgery on me, I bled out. I literally bled to death on the table, and they had to hook me up to a machine. Oh Christ, YouTube, please don't demonetize me. But yeah, so I didn't know. I was well happy. I was on morphine, loads of it. So I was just like, oh. When I woke up, there was just blood everywhere. I was hooked up to like several different machines with wires and stuff sticking out of me, and I was like, yo, this is awesome. Am I gonna be a robot? Like, no, you're not gonna be a robot. Ah, devastated. Yeah, like, being dead isn't all it's cracked up to be. It was kind of chill. But that sunburn, I wish I was dead. I went to my neighbours the other night since we had thunder roll, and they went and sat on the stairs with them. We watched the lightning. Yeah, that's awesome. Lightning is such an awesome thing to see, but again, you've got to respect it. The chances of getting struck by lightning are ridiculously low, but like if I never take my chances, because I am the kind of guy that would go outside once for the first time all year and get struck by lightning twice. Like, that's what would happen to me. Sorry for being late. Don't worry about it, Chaos Doctor. You are not late. You're absolutely on time. Thank you so much for popping in to say hello to us. Absolutely not. Yes, exactly. What Katsy said. You're here and that's what matters. The bathhouse. Ooh, the bathhouse indeed. Notice that some people will give you gifts and expect you to give them money. Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know this. I was blissfully unaware. Like, I was just super naive. I'd never been abroad before. I didn't know what to do. I'm just walking along thinking everyone's happy. Yeah, this is great. Oh, yeah, this lovely lady came and give me a gift. You know, the weird thing is, I was going to give her money. I had like 10 euros in my pocket, and I was going to give it to her anyway. That was the only reason I walked on that side, because she had a child. She had a kid with her. And when she came up to me, we started talking. I'm like, how are you? Are you okay? And she started like strapping me up. And then my friend was like the guide who was taking us, they were just like, no, it's a con. Don't entertain it. She'll rob you. And I'm like, oh no, it's okay. What were you saying about Africa? And anyway, she tried to rob me. So I was gonna give her the money anyway, but then she like literally tried to like take it off me. So I was like, okay, never mind. I'll keep it. Screw you guys, I'm going home. Straight up. Big ups, Larkman. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Gemini, you're so funny. I don't feel it. I just tell stories about real things that have happened to me, and then people laugh. That's it, isn't it? You guys just like my pain. Ah. Yo, say Gemini, what do you think Halloween would be like in the Norway if it was celebrated? I think it'd be pretty dope, but I think that the little ones would be up to all sorts of mischief, and I think that the developers know that as well, because some of the graphics that we've got to celebrate Halloween from Bandai and from Tazi and stuff earlier days, like on X or Twitter or whatever we're calling it, Facebook and stuff like that. It's always the children, like Mono and Six, Low and Alone, with like pumpkins or buckets full of candy, and they're always stealing it from one of the residents, like the supervisor or the hunter or something like that. It's just, I think it's one of those times where I think it'd be quite fun. Like, I suppose it's one of the times where you actually get to embrace the fact that you're stuck in a horror movie. Well, for a horror game. Gemini died? What the heckables? Yeah, but only for like 40 seconds or something like that. It was like really like, it wasn't like dead and buried and everyone mourned me. There was no obituary or anything. It was just my heart stopped on the table sort of thing. It was like in the middle of the operation. But yeah, clinically, my heart stopped working. And I didn't even notice. I was just sleeping, having a really good dream. I fell asleep super happy, because they pumped me full of morphine, sleeping gas. My mum had surgery a few days ago. She ended up breaking her wrist because she was tipsy and saw a spider. She freaked out and jumped to kill it and ended up falling. Oh my days. I hope she's okay, because I sacrificed your mother once upon a time. I remember at the end of my stream really early on. And I do hope your mum's okay. I hope the spider's okay too. Don't kill stuff, you see? That's karma. But I hope you're alright. Is her wrist okay? Did she get it treated? Like, is she all strapped up and everything now? They have to go in a cast? Like, is it completely busted, or is she going to be okay? Summer camp I had to do a speech about weather, including how to survive flash floods, and it said not to drive in a flood, and on the way back I got a flash flood warning while driving. Bro, that's scary as hell. I read somewhere that the safest place to be during a lightning storm is inside a car, and When I was growing up, I was really afraid of lightning. I didn't like lightning. I still don't. I'm not like a massive fan. I still don't go outside if it's thunder and lightning. But I don't like loud noises though. Anything like that. I don't like. I don't like jets flying overhead. I don't like fireworks. I don't like thunder and lightning. And I read that the safest place to be is in a car because the car is grounded with rubber and it's surrounded with a metal cage. So you're literally in the car, and even if lightning strikes the car, it'll strike the shell of the car, travel around the electricity, and be dulled in the tires and go into the ground. It won't touch you. So I always used to hide in the nearest vehicle. If I ever got caught out in a lightning storm, I would just beeline for whatever car I could get into. Like if one of my friends happened to have a car like nearby or something. Not if I'm inside, obviously, I'll just stay in the house. But I didn't just randomly go to strangers. Let me just jump in your car. I heard the safest thing to do is oh no, step another out of context. Gemini says the safest thing for you to do is jump in the nearest car with the nearest stranger. To get out of the lightning. Alison, you are not late and welcome. Hello there. How are you doing? I hope you're doing all right. Thank you for all the eyeballs. I do like the eyeballs. I do like a good eyeball in chat. Gemini, did you see my DM from earlier? Maybe. Can't remember what the last one I saw was. Give me 2 seconds. Find out. Oop. Currently drawing something else inspired by the forest idea and the groundskeeper. Excellent. Excellent. I'm liking it. We're actually going to talk about that right now, funnily enough. So don't worry. If I know you said it's a surprise, but I'm gonna break that surprise right now because I've just opened the software in order to do so. FYI, I don't like your pain. Don't worry, everyone else does. And it is kind of funny sometimes. Don't take it personally, Jem. Some of us enjoy other people's pain. That's fair. Gemini went to the doorway when that happened. Yeah, imagine if that's actually what happened. I just like evanesced. By the way, Gemini, I sent you a message on Discord wishing you a happy birthday because I didn't. Hey, don't worry about it. It's all good. I had a great birthday. It was wonderful, and thank you so much for reaching out. Lightning is cool. Went swimming last year in Italy in Garda Lake while a thunderstorm was behind. Ooh, God, I bet that was intimidating. Hey, crazy YouTuber. See you soon. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. She had surgery to screw the bones together. She has a cast now along with a sling, maybe 8 to 12 weeks to heal. Not sure. She might need physical therapy, but not sure. She's okay though. Well, as long as she's doing okay, and I'm glad that she went and got it taken care of, because that absolutely sucks. I've broken my arm. I've broken every bone. I was a kickboxer for a long time. I've broken practically every bone in my body at one point or another, and the arm sucked. And that wasn't even kickboxing. I broke my arm falling down stairs. Big stairs. And I had to have something similar done, but my arm's fine now. It's a little bit weak in the wrist because it's literally snapped here. But it was a foolish mistake that I made when I was a dumb kid, and now I'm a dumb grown-ass man. Who or what is the lady really, and what is her connection to Six? If she becomes her, is her whole universe a looping, cooling monos? Yeah, now this is the thing, Chaos Doctor, it's kind of strange. Your name actually speaks to it kind of well because it's kind of like Chaos Theory in that it's time in the nowhere doesn't work the same as it does everywhere else because it's implied that the children who get taken to the nowhere come from different time periods, right? So like Mim from the not Journey. Come on, Gem, remember the name, for crying out loud. The Lonely Ones. So in the Lonely Ones novel, there's a character called Mim, and she comes from a time before electricity, like way before electricity. It could be like Dark Ages. It could be. I personally think it's ancient Greece. I think Mim comes from ancient Greece, and yeah. So there was a lot of there's a lot to think about in that regard because if these kids are being taken from different points in time and they understand different things and they're nowhere using their memories to shape them, why don't they age when they are there? And I think it's because time in the nowhere doesn't pass by. At least it doesn't pass in the same way we do. I think the nowhere kind of exists outside of linear time. and it works in a vacuum, kind of like a pocket dimension, as it were. Gem, in a tornado, it's best to get out of the car, out of the houses, and then lay down flat because wind can whisk away a car and destroy the house. You know what? That's actually true. But it depends. It depends on the tornado. There's a lot of different like survival situations where like you want to be inside, but you also don't want to be in a structure that can be taken down on top of you. You have to be in somewhere like a prison to be safe in a tornado, and you want to get low as well. Like you want to get if you've got a basement, that's where you want to be. You want to be underground because like you said, Alison, you're absolutely right. If you're in the house and a tornado decides to tear that house up from the roots and just sling it into the air, and it'd be perfectly capable of doing that at the right level, because you get like different levels of tornadoes. But if you get a really powerful one, it will just shred your house like a cheese grater. And the safest place that you can be if you want any hope of surviving is down in the basement, underground. That's why in places like Texas, in those parts of the United States that are really prone to tornadoes, a lot of houses come with them. They literally have a storm cellar. That's even what it's called. Teacher is winning the poll, and it's right. The absolute scariest and best resident. I agree. I absolutely agree. Mr. Master knows how it be. The teacher is definitely the scariest one of the franchise, at least for me personally. I've always loved the teacher. I've always found her really threatening and really intimidating, and I can't wait to see her in the VR. I haven't played the VR yet, but I want to say I've seen it. Obviously, I've watched just Jord play through it anyway. Sorry, Jim was a kickboxer. I was. I was into martial arts for a really long time. I've got 2 black belts. Do you want to see it? Yeah, absolutely, Chaos. No problem. Gemini, if you don't answer Bocce's questions, he's going to explode. Where is it? Hey, Jen, did you get to look at Watch It? No, I didn't. Let me look now. On your channel, right, Mochi? Go to channel. There you are. Watch is a young, resourceful, but wary boy of about 12. Back in the working world, he was forced to work in a factory under forced labour. One day, his life and his world would change in a matter of a few hours. Oh, that's dope. That's a really cool design. I love this, right? When you first told me about Watch, that's the first thing I remember about him, is the fact that he has the big wristwatch surrounding him like that. Like it doesn't belong to him. I love the fact that you put the eyeball on it as well. Masking the character also. Great idea. Ooh, the leg! Love how you've incorporated the leg as well. Oh, that is dope. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, that's pretty cool. Wait, sorry, I've lost chat. That is nice, Mochi. That is really, really nice. What a cool character concept. I'm going to like that. I'll tell you what. And I'm going to comment on it as well. I'm going to leave you an eyeball. I'll put you an eyeball. There's my eyeballs. There it is. Boom. Oh, you left me a little. You've linked me as well. Perfect. Why didn't I see that? See, normally YouTube Studio, when you link me, when you actually tag me in something, it should link directly to my YouTube Studio. I haven't seen that. That's 6 days old. My apologies. I should have seen that by now. I don't know why I didn't. Did YouTube notify me of that? Let me just go check. I'll just check, because I don't want to be here bad-mouthing YouTube if it's my fault. Because if I screwed up, then I owe you an apology, and YouTube is fine. Where are we? Community. 2 days ago. Well, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. But you are not one of them. I'm back to 3 weeks now, and it did not tag me. YouTube, you suck. YouTube, but yeah, I apologize on behalf of YouTube, and I'm glad I was able to see it now. And thank you for your submission as well. I really like your characters. I love seeing people's characters, their OC designs and their monsters and things like that. It's just so good. Oh. I wonder, has time passed in the real world while Law was in the nowhere? The rooms in After Little Nightmares 3 did look edgy. Yes, right, so that's what I was wondering, is how long has Law been away? Because it's clear, and it's stated by the developers, in fact, that Law has been in the nowhere for ages. He's been in there for a long time, right? By the time we meet him, he's presumably pretty well rounded in the nowhere because he's all bandaged up and he's crafted himself a crossbow and everything like that, a longbow, sorry. He's quite an avid survivor. Gemini, you should do a stream just telling us stories. It'd be so entertaining. That can be a story of the day. I have. My life has been kind of crazy. It's a little bit wild. I thought about writing, just writing a little book or a diary or something like that to sort of be like, these are the things that I've done in my life that you might find interesting. Okay, so here we go. Hey Gemini, I can't stay for long. I just want to pop in. Hey, no problem, Caleb. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping in. Even if you don't have time to sit and stay, like, I know that people have other things to do with their lives, right? People feel the need to apologize to me and come in and say that they're sorry that they can't stay. It's absolutely fine. I do appreciate it because I like to know, it's good to know that you would like to stay if you could. As long as I'm not scaring you away, as long as the reason you're leaving isn't me, then I'm fine, right? It's totally cool. You didn't have to do that midstream, just no, yeah. But this is the thing, Mochi. I said I was going to do it before, and I said you tag me in the post, and I'll go and check it out. And that's what I said to you last time I was here, and you did exactly what I asked you to do, and I didn't fulfill my end of the bargain. Granted, it's YouTube's fault because they didn't notify me. But still, you went out of your way to do something important and you posted it on there under my instruction, and I told you to, and I said you should be confident in your character and I feel like you'll nail it, and you absolutely should, and I'll go check it out. And then you went so far as to tag me in the post and I didn't even look. So yes, I just wanted to make sure I do that right here, right now, because Future Gem, it's not that Future Gem will forget, it's just that I've got a list of mentions. They call them mentions. So if you go into YouTube Studio, you've got a community tab, and then it says mentions, and I've got loads of those because people tag me and stuff all the time, but yours wasn't one of them. But I can see from your post that you very clearly tagged me, so I don't know why YouTube didn't pick that up, but they did not inform me. So anyway, so we did it. We did that. Now I am just going to shift myself to camera uno, like so, and I'm going to open my webcam. Right, this is my recording software. Not my recording software. This is my editing software that I have opened on the screen at the moment. You guys can see chat. Hi, chat. Say hi, chat. Let me get some eyeballs in there for the chat. Chat are regulars. My chat are brilliant people. Look at them. Look at how good looking they are. Look at how hot and rich and intelligent you all are. Oh. Hey, Gemini, I can't say. Oh, yeah, sorry, I've already read that one. Very excited for the Shaw chapter. Oh, so am I. So am I. So, I am going to start. Hi, chat. There you go. You're all famous now. So I'm just going to pull this up, and I'm going to drag a couple of bits in. So desktop, community project, the hotel, and I'm going to pull in a couple of these environments that we've got landscape at the moment. There you go. Like this. And the exterior as well. Excellent. Then we need our main character. And we've got a couple of PNGs of our girl. They can all go in there as well. Wonderful. Might not need this one, but that's okay. So, hi YouTube. Mirror, mirror in the chat. Yeah, this is it. I'd love it if the chat could stay on the screen. I might actually look into that as well. What do you guys think? Should I find a way, not today obviously, but in future streams, should I find a way that chat can always be on screen at any given time? What's up, Francesco Verdi? How are you doing, my Italian brother? It's great to see you. Really good to see other Little Nightmares creators in the chat, and so many of you guys. Ooh, you use Movavi. I use that one time. Yeah, I really like it. I've used it since day one, and I use it because it was. Well, I use it because it's considerably cheaper than Premiere Pro. So originally, I was going to use Photoshop, like Adobe. Was it Adobe? Well, I needed Photoshop and I needed Pro. I needed Premiere Pro, or whatever it's called. There are some really expensive editing softwares, and this one wasn't. And it's not that expensive, which means it does come with limitations and things like that. And you still have to pay for it, and I do. But I've been using it for 5 years, and I find it brilliant. I do dabble in other softwares as well. If this doesn't have everything that I need, I will like get a bit creative. But this is the one I use primarily for everything, and I find it awesome. So yeah. Yeah, please do, Reanimal Girl. You use OBS? Yes, I do, but my OBS is over on the other screen. So, this is what I want you guys to think about. So for now, I'm going to just pop this in here. I'm also going to crop to there, just because I need it to sit more. There you go. See, notice how I want to get a bit creative with the way it goes, because I need to cut certain bits just to make it so that it fits on the screen. It will all show, but I have to do that first. And then we want to take our character. Let's have her sitting right here. Oop, put her up above there. Let's bring her down to size so she looks like she fits in this world. There you go. She could be sitting on the step for now. There you are. She can sit right there for the moment while I play a game with you guys, because this was a cool thing. So this right here that you're seeing is the hotel environment, and it's the actual reception. So if I just open this back up real fast, this is the reception that you guys have already seen. So this was the original design by Kit Kat Katsy for the hotel reception, where we would have had a concierge or something, but we decided collectively against it. And this was the original concept that Katsy sent for me, and then this is the landscape version. Now, the reason I full screened it is because I would like you guys. Oh, you can't even see it all because of my face. Is that better? There we go. I don't know how much you guys can actually see, but there are so many Easter eggs in this. There are so many references in this page, just on this screen right now. What can you guys spot? Screw paying for editing software. I just use CapCut with no premium. Yeah, honestly, no, I've done it as well. I've done it as well. I do begrudge paying for editing software. It sucks because it is quite expensive, especially considering this is my actual job. So I need to, I need to pay for it. I need it to be continuously working all the time. Mm. There we go. We got a couple of people catching them already. Yes, it does look amazing. Yeah, really, really. Hashtag rat on a stick. Yes. You know what? I genuinely think that the studio, I really think that Supermassive listened to Terrico, and I think that they put a little thing in, because there is a rat on a stick in the backstage. Did you see it? I think they took his criticism on board and they applied themselves to it. What's up, Plasmatic? Hashtag rat on a stick. Facts. He was right though. He was right. That was one of them fair ones that I'll say where it's like, because I get that some people are just like straight up hurtful and overly critical of Little Nightmares 3, and they just like to bash it and troll people and make everybody feel bad about liking something. But then there's other people who like Terrico who genuinely love the franchise and they just want to see it do better. And he was disappointed with Little Nightmares 3 and he voiced that, which it's perfectly legal to do, right? It's not. And while he addressed it, and it might have been scathing and come across a bit harsh, and I will say it was a little bit harsh, but he got his point across, right? He made his point, and he said what a lot of people were thinking out loud, and they addressed that. And then he's gone back and he's played the backstage, and he's left another review, and he said how much have stepped up the game, which is exactly what I said. So yes. Anyway, picture of the wax bellman. Yeah, the mono painting. We got mono up here. Yes, we do. We have the wax bellman right there. Wax Bellman makes an appearance as well. 6 cherry cola, Munkalo. Yeah, yeah, my cherry cola made it into the game. that is a sign for the bar, and it's advertising the beverage that they're going to serve, the Godfather, which is this one right here, my beverage. There you go. There's so many. There's so many. It is Love and Alone, right there. 6. A Runaway Kid. Sorry, I'm looking myself now because that is one of them where the longer you look, the more you notice, and I just think it's really cool. What's up, Fantasy Feline? How you doing? Can't stay because I'm on the road. You're still on the road. You were on the road last time. Last time you were here in chat last week, you said that you were on like a 6-hour road trip. Like, where are you going? Not that you don't have to tell anybody that, by the way, but just like 6 hours. You always seem to be on the road. But I appreciate you stopping in very much. Ooh. Aspen Groves, what's up? Yes, painting to the protagonist, exactly. Low dime, yep. Little dime up here as well. Yes, we do. All the references. It's mint, isn't it? Yeah, see, I really like it. This is what I like about Cattie's work, is that she will embed so much into the environment, which is another great example of understanding when it comes to the Little Nightmares theology, because they do show, don't tell. Right, there are hints in and around this room that are going to help us solve puzzles as we go, as we like traverse these areas and stuff like that. Like, you'll notice that these lockers here are all numbered. One of them's missing as well, and these are the lock boxes for the keys for the rooms, like they had in the old hotels. They rarely use these anymore, because now most hotels work on like they operate on a card system. But yeah, picture of dime is too small to see. It is on a lot of people's screens, but also it is supposed to just be a really, really small background. Like, it doesn't want to be like, full blur. It's like, this is perfect. This is exactly how it's supposed to be. Because bear in mind as well, is this is just like just a render of the of the screen rightward facing, so that we can go through it. Whereas in actual little, like, if it was actually developed into a game and we built this as a 3D environment that you could walk around, you would go up the stairs and then you would get a closer look at the dime picture anyway. We just can't right now because, well, we kind of can, but the fidelity will be absolutely shredded because I've zoomed all the way in. But here's what I'm thinking, guys. And I'm gonna do a little bit of writing as well, because I want to know if you guys agree with me. Because I have a system in place at the moment that I'm considering as far as this goes. So this little adventure is going to follow our hero, or our heroine, Frill. And Frill is going to come to this hotel, and she's going to have to figure her way around it. And in doing so, she's going to come up against a bunch of other horrible, nowhere dwelling ne'er-do-wells. But she's not going to start in the hotel. She's going to start out here in the hotel exterior. Now, there are going to be other areas. This is the outside of the hotel, as you can maybe kind of see in my tiny little screen up in the corner right there. But that is the hotel exterior. I'm just going to crop. I'm going to shrink it down to here, because this is where she's going to be coming in. She's going to come in through the doors right there. But she's got to get to the hotel first, and we're going to open up the game with a tutorial. And that tutorial, I'm thinking, can take place on the outskirts of the hotel just as she's running up to it. And now this, you'll notice that the hotel is on a shoreline, right? Well, you won't, because every time I move the mouse, it flips off. But the hotel's on a shoreline, so we can't go any further. The hotel is the point of call, and we're traveling through a wilderness area, kind of like a like a park. What do they call them? Like a nature preserve kind of thing. So it's a heavily wooded area, very much like the wilderness, which is going to serve as a tutorial area where we're going to be introduced to the first protagonist. Now, let's see. This is what I'm thinking. Residence. Okay. Now, forgive me, I don't have all of the residents just yet because artwork takes a long time to make. But I'm thinking we start with the groundskeeper. In fact, I have a new drawing of the groundskeeper. I don't think I have a PNG though. But in fact, yeah, let me just cut the display really quick so I have to open up Discord. If it'll let me do that. It's going to let me do that. Yes, it is. Brilliant. Yep, there he is. Save. Groundskeeper. New. Desktop. Put you right there for the moment. And then... Oh. Oh. There you go. Right, now you guys can come back. Welcome, you're back in the room. And we are going to open the software, find him. Where's it saved him? There he is, groundskeeper new. And we are going to meet this dude. So this guy is going to be outside of the hotel. And we are going to open as Frill. We're going to wake up in the wilderness area and we're going to learn about the controls and we're going to hear music in the distance. The music is going to be emitting from the hotel and that's what's going to attract us to it because there's going to be some kind of concert happening at the hotel and that's what's going to attract Frill because Frill's little quirk is that she has to dance. Okay, when she hears music, she is forced to dance under some kind of like hypnotic spell. So that's the thing. So she will be drawn to the music for one reason or another that ties into her actual character. So she's traversing the wilderness area and then for some reason can't help but dance. And she's dancing towards the music. And we have to find ways of, well, the music will dip in and out for one reason or another, which is to be decided. So let's have a chat about that. Where are we? Dr. Pepper jar of Gemini. Yeah, the jar with the straw. Yeah, honestly, right, that is one of my favorite things as well. Where is it? This. Where is it? Where did I put it? There. Hotel. This. Look at that. How dope is that? A little advert to go. That's going to advertise my beverage in the bar. Does anyone else find it a bit sad that it's still hitting on the game even after the DLC? Yeah, a little bit, because it's like, yeah, really, you know, it's you move on, right? Move on to other things. If you didn't like the game, don't play it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go and like attack everybody that did enjoy the game because they don't agree with you. See a picture of alone. Yes, I have to zoom in. Yeah, this is the thing. It's kind of like a every area is going to contain secrets like this as well that are going to be worth seeing. Some of these ones are really obvious because it's like, oh, girl in the yellow raincoat, very obvious who that is and why it's there and so on. Well, maybe not why it's there. And some of them are more subtle, like my beverage being in there and things like that. There's a couple of other telltale things that Cats and Will put in them. Yes. Spinny chair, yes, there's a spinning chair. Yay, spinning chair. I can't believe I did that without crashing. Gonna have to be heading out now. Might return later on. No worries, Step. Have a great day. I hope you're doing all right. Catsy with a big dono in the bottom corner as well. Thank you. Let me get some eyeballs in the chat for you. Boom, 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 boom. Eyeballs, please, if you would be so kind. Donate your all-seeing eyeballs to Kit Kat Katsy, the legend and the artist responsible for pretty much everything you've seen so far. I appreciate you very much, Katsy. You're a legend. You don't have to do that, but I know that it doesn't matter how many times I say that, you will continue to do it, and it all goes to a great place. Well, actually, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That was a lie, and I feel bad for saying it now because I stopped doing that. And also, that's another thing that I feel like I need to let you guys know. I already did tell this. I think I've said it in every stream so far. I might not have said it on my birthday stream because that was birthday stream and it didn't count. But my mum is home. She's home. She still has cancer, but she's finished the treatment. She's had chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and immunotherapy, and she got to ring the little bell as well. She got to ring the little bell and be all happy about it because the cancer has stopped spreading. It's not dormant or in remission or anything like that. She still has lung cancer, and it still sucks. But all of my donations, everything that you guys were sending to me, I was using to pay for her travel and for her hotels and everything like that to make sure she could go and receive the treatment. We don't pay for the treatment here in the United Kingdom. That's not what it's for. But we don't have specialists here where I live to do those treatments. So she had to stay long stints in big hospitals and other towns where she wouldn't have the accommodation paid for or the travel. And she can't work because she's very sick, as is my father. So all of those donations were going to her. And now that she's not undergoing the treatment anymore, she doesn't need to stay in hotels, she doesn't need to travel into different towns, and she doesn't need excess money. So I'm not giving her it anymore. So not that I don't try, I still look after her. Don't get me wrong, I haven't abandoned her. Ah, you're fine, you're fine. What are you complaining about? My point is, if you guys send me money, it's going in my pocket. So know that. Know that if you send me money now, it's not going to a good place. It's going to buy me a VR headset or something like that. So and Katsy's addressed that right there as well. Getting Gemini a VR for real, you know me. I can't not do it, though, no. I very much thank you. Hello, Angel Gameplays. What's up? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. I love that you've got 6 in your profile picture. Gemini, you need to make a community post before you do these streams. I don't want to be seen. Sorry, Vibe Check Man. I generally would. Usually I would have done. But I got caught up in a big project last night that I was working on for a really, really long time. And then I ended up just going to bed and getting an early night. And then I remembered I hadn't made a post. And when I woke up today, I was like, it's kind of late to post, right? I'll just do it. I'll just go live impromptu and see what happens. Yes. She genuinely is. Kind and talented. An absolute W person. Would this be more like Very Little Nightmares or more like the main Little Nightmares game? It would, if we were going to play it, it would play more like the regular games. The art style, because of Katsy's unique style, it looks more Very Little Nightmares, because it's got less of like the 3D dynamic. It's like less the 3D renders that like we did with the Oldest Nightmare, and more of Katsy's signature dynamic. So the art style that you guys will be used to seeing is more like what I would keep in my not Echoes of Nowhere, Echoes of Nightmare. There. Um, let's see. There. You guys will be used to seeing renders more like this kind of style. Which also they stole my idea. This is the Puppeteer's Room reimagined. I did this first. This was between me, the Oldest Nightmare, and Just GKS, and we worked this room out, and we thought it would be a good idea, and so did Bandai. And I'm not saying they nicked my idea, but they totally nicked my idea. No, they absolutely didn't. But look at the similarities between this and the other. But anyway, yeah, I'm off topic again. This is the style that you're used to. This is not the style we will be using in this one, even though this is a room that we kind of get to see in Very Little Nightmares. It's the room next door to the Scarf Room, but drawn as if we would be playing it in the 2.5D landscape. what's the word? Format. Format. There you go. Well done, Jem. Good job. You managed to wake up today a little bit. I'm making an album. I'm going to do one song. Skeleton Cleek. You don't have to do that, but please tag me when you do. If YouTube will actually let me know, I would love to see that. Also, check out this butler render. I don't know if it's that sculpture. Looks absolutely sick. Anyway, off topic again. Go back. Go back. There you go. I have a character project. Oh, I have a character or project I would be interested to show Gemini. Am I recommended to send an email, a DM? Yeah, both. You absolutely can do both. Vibe check man is right. You can send me. I'm more likely to receive an email than I am a DM, just because I probably get like 6 or 7 emails a day, but I get like 50 DMs. So like DMs come through constantly like clockwork. That's why I don't open Discord when I'm on Messenger, because it's just it won't ever stop. It's like continuous all the time, and it probably will get missed. You can absolutely send it, and I will absolutely get to it. It's just it'll take me ages. So like you'll send me something, and like 3 weeks later I'll reply and be like, "This is dope, thanks." By which time you'll have probably forgotten and dismissed me and thought, "That guy is such a prick. He doesn't even respond to his fans." Hmm. Is the previous photo of the room where the puppeteer was caressing a girl? No, no, it isn't. But funny that you mentioned that, Angel, because that room that I just showed was an original design for my Little Nightmares 2 DLC concept. So basically I tried to imagine, because we didn't get a DLC for Little Nightmares 3. Little Nightmares 2, sorry. We didn't get DLC for Little Nightmares 2, but there was one planned. So I tried to imagine what I thought that story would look like. And I built a 6-part series based around it. And in episode 6, we created a character called the Seamstress. And that was her boss room. That was her boss fight room. And we did this about 6 months ago. The project was finally wrapped up and published, and you can see it on the channel right now. It's available in there. It just so happens that the boss area, like the room we chose to fight the seamstress in, was designed pretty much exactly like the puppeteer boss fight in Little Nightmares 3's DLC. And it's they like Tazi here, not Tazi here. Supermassive and Bandai didn't watch my video. I want to be clear that I'm joking about that. 'Cause some people will be like, "Wow, you really think that?" I don't think that at all. I don't for a second think that Supermassive sat down, watched my video, and thought that's a good idea. We'll use that. Right? I don't think that for a second. I just think that if you consider the amount of people that think about this stuff, like if you think about this stuff as much as I do, and you conceptualize these ideas as often as I do, you will run into like similar ideas. In fact, that's what inspired this stream. This stream, well, streams like this community project are based on the fact that we have so many like linear idea, not linear. We have so many um, what is it? Interlinked ideas. My brain isn't working. It's too hot. There's so many interlinked ideas and they're all getting mingled together, and I thought if we can come together as like a hive mind and basically decide what we think would be the best idea collectively, we could create a pretty cool Little Nightmares themed DLC. But you absolutely will run into it. I designed one called the Nurse, right? For episode 3 I designed a character called the Nurse, and she was an awesome concept, and I really enjoyed the character, and I made that about a year ago. And then when Little Nightmares 3 came out, they had characters called nurses, right? But but they weren't even remotely similar to mine. But the concept had been done because I'd thought of it, and I wasn't the first person who thought of it. People thought of a nurse character before I did, and they designed them before I did. I know because I looked it up. That's why I had to get so creative with her actual design, so that people who'd actually created this character before I did wouldn't think I'd stolen their idea, because I just thought of the idea and thought, oh, that would be cool. You know, I thought of a barber before I knew the barber was a thing. I didn't know the character, the barber, was actually existed. I wanted to base a character on my brother because my brother is a barber in real life, or at least he was. He's not anymore. He does a different job now, but he was training to be a barber when I thought about the barber concept. And this was a really long time ago, back when I played Little Nightmares 2. I didn't know the barber was supposed to be a thing, so when he came up, I sent in the picture. I was like, "This is you." Mm. Yes. Jem, can you read my question? Where is your question, Stinkles? Jem, did you see my question? No, I did not. Eyeballs. W. Hey Gemini, do you remember my idea for the patrons? Oh, yes, I do, Stinkles. I do remember your idea for the patrons, and it is something that we are going to discuss on the point where we get to the hotel. So obviously, oh yeah, so give me feedback, guy. Don't worry, Marky Mark, you are not late. Um, give me, how do you know they didn't watch your video? I don't know. I just think that if, like, because I am quite a creative person, I have an active mind, and I'm very analytical, and I love this franchise, so I like to think that my concepts are good, but they're inspired by the people who actually are responsible for making this stuff. So when it comes to, like, did they take any inspiration from me? I highly doubt it. And I think if they did, they'd probably mention it, because I've spoken to a couple of people who've actually worked for them before. Obviously, I speak to Just Jordan now and again, and I've spoke to Lonnie Nadler. I've spoken to I've spoken to Kester Lovelace, who played Otto in the Sounds of Nightmares podcast. Um, I've messaged Dave Mervick before, and my point is, I've communicated with enough of them for them to know who I am and what I do. And if they'd taken any inspiration from me, maybe they could have, like, they might have reached out, but they didn't, because they didn't. And that's that. It's that simple. It just happens to be a wicked coincidence that we thought of a very similar concept for a boss fight in a game like this. So feedback, guys. Frill is going to have to get to this hotel, and she is going to need to get there by the wilderness area, or like a wilderness area outside. An area which the groundskeeper, this guy right here, is going to be responsible for overseeing. And we're going to have to run away from this guy and take shelter in the hotel. And the hotel will attract Frill because of Frill's quirk of the fact that she has to dance whenever she hears music, which is going to play a role in forcing us to solve puzzles in a more creative manner and find other ways around the hotel where we won't be as susceptible to it, which is going to lead us into particularly more dangerous territory, with the hope of avoiding something happening to us. So as far as that goes, I'm penciling in start. Come on, pen. There you go. Start. Wilderness tutorial. In fact, why don't I do it on screen where you guys can see? How about that? 1 second. Notepad. Up, up. Nope. So, timeline. Dots. Frill appears in desolate wilderness-like area. Tutorial. Music. Oh, no. Distant music causes Frill's quirk to be applied. Music coming from hotel. There we go. Groundskeeper chase sequence concludes tutorial sequence. So, we wake up in the woods. and then we learn how to control the character and how she moves and things like that. She's going to move slightly differently to other characters. Like she'll move, like the controls will be the same, but like instead of crouch walking, she'll crawl and things like that. It's kind of like a more elegant kind of system. And her pushing, when she pushes and stuff, might be a little bit like, look at her animations there. So she's pushing. This is her pushing. This is her standing. This is her dancing. This is her crawling, and all that kind of thing. So, and this is her sitting down, just perched, like waiting for me to get on with it. So we learn how she works. And then we solve like a really basic puzzle, and it leads us towards the hotel where we find out about her quirk, and then we are subjected to this beast who comes out and he's tending maybe like we're dancing, and we kick up a couple of his leaves. So he comes out furious and he's like, he chases us with a rake, and we do one, and we run, and we have to run here. Here, and we end up outside the hotel. He chases us towards the hotel, but we can get in and he can't for one reason or another. We find a way into the hotel. Maybe we jump in through an open window, perhaps. There's an open window right there that we could jump in, climb through. Groundskeeper comes to the door and he can't get in, and then he's maybe declined entry. Right? And we could have patrons in this area. And those patrons, we haven't got a design for the patrons yet, but I'm interested to see what kind of concepts the artists on this project, particularly Catsy, can come up with surrounding the patrons who are going to be working their way into the hotel in single file. And we're going to have to come in the side way, and Mr. Groundskeeper is not going to be able to follow us because all of these like rich patrons are going to be coming in here, and they're going to be heading towards the reception looking to get booked in, and they're going to be struggling with that because we have no receptionist. What do we think as a basic run up? Sorry, I've lost chat. Where are you guys? Jim, what location for the game files, for example, the mall, would fit the nowhere? I think. Well, I think they all would in a way, but the mall would be awesome. I'd really really like a mall concept. In fact, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm working on one. There is one that I've had in my head for a really long time that is part of a project that I've been working on for a really long time, and I had to dismiss and like not abandon this project, but I did have to lay off and like ease back on this project a little bit because I was working on it with the Oldest Nightmare and a couple of other people that have unfortunately had to pull out, which has left me a little bit in the lurch. And I don't begrudge them for doing so. They're living their own lives and doing their own thing, and none of it's their fault. It just means that I've had to take a step back while I like reinitiate and rethink the structure of my release schedule. Who made Frill? Catsy. Kit Kat Catsy made Frill. She designed her. So what happened was about a month or two ago, could have even been 3 now. I asked you guys to submit your OC characters to me to see who we were going to be putting in this game to come up to play as, who would be our like main protagonist. And a couple of people, a lot of people let us use their OCs, and I put them all in a poll. So I'll put them all in a poll and I'll let everybody vote on who their favourite was. And Catsy's character Frill won that poll. And because Catsy happens to be an artist as well, I figured, well, let's get Catsy on the project because she drew the character initially. Maybe she can draw the environment and work as like a collaborator on this event. So for episode 1, Catsy is not only the primary person who designed Frill, who's going to be our main protagonist, as voted by you guys and the larger Little Nightmares community, but also she is the project, essentially the artistic lead on this project as well, which is why all of these environments and all of these brilliant concepts and everything are all drawn by her. I conceive the groundskeeper as a perfectionist in his role. Like, he literally climbs on the shrubbery as he trips. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and that could be the main reason why he is furious at us when we come stomping through the patch here. And so he'll have a little like a little cabin, a little workshop outside of the hotel, just like on the outskirts, on the hotel grounds, on the preserve where we come traipsing through. And perhaps as we start dancing, we kick up a bunch of leaves that he's raked up, and he's like fuming about it because he's like, I just made this really neat and tidy, and you've ruined it. You're dead. Not that he need any reason to chase us, but given the fact that you've designed him to be a perfectionist, he's probably just got through whacking the weeds and trying to make this place look presentable for the rich guests that are going to be coming up to the hotel to stay in there. And we've ruined it by dancing through all the leaves, kicked them all up, and made a big mess. So he comes out and he's furious, so he has to fix it up. Hey Kip, you're not too late. Don't even worry about it. You're absolutely fine. What's up, saying? How you doing? Hey, don't worry. It's all right. If you're late, you can always watch it back. It's not a problem. Play the song "Togetherness" by Tobias Lilia. It probably will play at some point or another because the playlist I've got running in the background at the moment, you guys can hear it and I cannot. So I don't actually know what's playing right now. All I know is that there's a few songs, like there's probably like 10 or 15 songs from the OST from Little Nightmares. From Little Nightmares 1, 2, and 3, Sounds of Nightmares. So basically, if there's music, it will be a part of this playlist that just shuffles continuously in the background. I unfortunately have no control over it though, other than when you can hear it and when you cannot. Yes, no one is late. Can a hotel have like a forgotten luggage where Frill gets close to them? A hand made from cloth. Can a hotel have like forgotten luggage where, when Frill gets close to them, a hand made from clothes can there can be a chase scene where hundreds of those. Oh, like a glove, like a clothed hand. Or are you thinking like animated clothing? I refuse to believe Six is CC. I personally think Raincoat Girl is CC. That's my belief. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. A lot of people say Six is CC, and they can provide considerable evidence to support that Six is CC. But I lean more on the side of the Raincoat Girl is CC, and Six is someone entirely different. It's an honor to have my funny OC as a part of this. It's all good. So I'm glad. I'm glad that you were. I'm glad that you were able to get your character in and people voted him in. So awesome sauce. I wouldn't say it's unlikely anymore. It's become way more likely since Altered Echoes, but I still don't want to believe it. Yes, this is another thing. I haven't had a chance to analyze Altered Echoes. I might actually think that 6 is CC. Can I make some hotel interior design? I will submit. Yeah, absolutely. Saying you can make whatever you want. If you've got some concept artworks, like that's actually what Marky Mark does. Marky Mark has been creating some concepts for designs within the hotel and letting us use them. In fact, that was one. Where is it? I lost it again. The original was drawn by Marky Mark and then was reimagined by Catsy to fit within this artwork. Sorry, within this environment in her art style. Or was it Alex? Oh no, Alex. No, Alex is responsible for the groundskeeper. Marky Mark did the. See, there's so many people involved in this project. That's why I'm just calling it a community one and not tagging everyone that's made a contribution. Because the truth is, every single one of you has in one way or another. Hmm? Gemini, did you see what I said earlier? I have a really cool idea for the area where Frill will start the game, in which is what I'm working on right now. Then I will leave you to that. I will leave you to that then, Catsy. That can be your point of call. I'll leave you to coming up with that concept, and then we'll pitch it in the next one. Wait, who's Cece again? I've literally forgotten. She is Otto's sister that went missing in the Sounds of Nightmare. She was his inspiration for torturing the children. Well, at least torturing one of them that we know of. But I think he went on to do more.
So how many floors are going to be in the hotel? Well, I'm thinking that we're going to explore several different areas. We're going to be there's going to be the wilderness area outside where the tutorial takes place. Then there's going to be the hotel reception, which is this one. We're going to go into the reception and we're going to work our way out towards the bar. So we're going to follow this sign here. We're going to work our way to the bar. The bar is going to contain a character called the bartender, and he's going to give us a bit of an hard time in the bar, I'm thinking. So we go out here with the groundskeeper, then we meet a couple of the patrons, but we don't actually get chased by them. We just have to navigate them as we work our way through this hotel reception area, and we work our way towards the bar. We go into the bar, we have to deal with the barkeeper, which is this hideous chap here. 1 second, let me get the bar up. Crop there. Boom. This is the bar, or at least that's sort of the bar. That's the first concept for the bar. It is subject to change, but we can work on that at a later date because we are going to be meeting another resident there. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Hotel. No, not hotel. God damn it. Where is this? There, community project car. Residents. Bartender. There we go. Again, I haven't got the PNGs for these saved just yet, so you'll have to bear with me. But yeah, there's our position. There's our bartender, and he's going to live on the bar, and he is going to give us an hard time while we're there. He will probably chase us. He'll probably throw some bottles at us, and we are going to have to do something. But we're going to have to navigate him in one way or another. And in order to get around him, we go through the bar. We go through the bar, and we end up in an elevator. And I think that elevator is going to take us upstairs. And upstairs, we are going to find. We're going to find hallways. We're going to find hallways that are full of rooms like this. There you go. And again, forgive the way I crop these, but it's just so that you guys can get like a better look at it. But it's kind of going to look like that. Obviously, Catsy's going to redraw a couple of these anyway, and they're going to be like reimagined and redesigned based on what we decide collectively is going to be the best way forwards while we create this piece. But this area here, we're going to have to solve puzzles in this area in order to unlock the other side, because we don't want to be up, we want to be down, ideally. But we're going to have to find a way to get our character down because she's going to be trying to escape from the hotel, but she can't go back out the back. She wants to go towards the ocean. She couldn't do it earlier on because she was being pursued. Now she has to get out of the hotel, but she's trapped in it because it doesn't have windows that are accessible. At least not on these upper floors, because if she was to climb out the window, she'll just fall to her death. So she wants to go down, but for now she's trapped up. She had to be trapped up because she was chased out of the bar by the bartender. She can't go back into the reception area because of the patrons, and the groundskeeper is lurking outside on the left side of the hotel, over that side. So she's going to have to go up, and she'll end up going into an elevator that'll spit us out in this hallway. But this hallway is going to be occupied by this. This thing is going to be occupying this area. There you go. And that is the housekeeper, and she is going to give us an hard time in this particular area because the housekeeper's job is obviously to tidy the rooms. We're going to have to solve a puzzle, and she's going to have a turning circle like a dump truck, so she won't be too difficult to avoid. But if she spots you, she's going to be impossible because she moves linearly and she moves super fast. But she's not going to be particularly good in unwieldy environments like the tight corners of the rooms and stuff like that. She's going to be like, turning and crashing into the beds every time she's and we'll have to use that. Like, there will be points where we absolutely have to get her attention in order to pass. but we can navigate the room better than she can because of because of her awkward rigidity, because of her design, because she's on wheels and she's so awkward. Like, she will be able to reach. She has the arm. She has the vacuum. So you can't just hide under a bed and get away, because she'll just stick it under the bed and get to you. So you're gonna have to probably jump over the bed to, like, get it to chase you into a room, and then you go full circle. You jump on the bed and go back out, and she's going to have to do like a 12-point turn to get out of the room, by which time we've skittered into this hallway out here, and we've solved whatever puzzle is going to be in this area, in order to get us into one of the rooms, potentially a maintenance area of some kind, to pick up a power cell. The power cell will then power the elevator, and we'll go into said elevator and we will head down. And we'll be aiming to get down to the lobby, but the back end of the lobby, which is why we travelled this way up the end of the hotel. But we're not going to end up in the lobby. We are going to end up in the underground section, because the lift is going to break down. It's going to break down, and it's going to, like, it'll be going down, it'll be taking us to the lobby, and then just as it gets to the lobby, for some reason or another, it's going to malfunction. It's going to crash, and it's going to send us into the underground of the hotel. Okay, and the underground of the hotel is a pool. There's going to be a swimming pool. And this area is going to be cordoned off for a private resident. No one's going to be allowed in this area, which is why it was only accessible via the lift, and why the hotel had turned that lift off, was to give this particular enemy some privacy. But unfortunately, that enemy is going to be the boss. She's going to be the main antagonist, sorry. This is the siren, and she sings. Unfortunately for our heroine, she's going to live in the underground pool section, and this is going to be like the last boss encounter of the game before we end it. Okay, so Frill is going to have to come through all of these areas, not necessarily in this order. There she is, there she is. And there's the outside of the hotel. So obviously before the hotel, there's going to be the outside of the hotel, where he's going to bother us. So there'll be the wilderness area outside of the hotel, chase sequence with this dude. We're going to get chased into here. We're going to learn a little bit about the rooms and the navigation system and the way it works. Pick up on a couple of hints that are left to us in this particular area. We're going to traverse this area quite comfortably, dodging the patrons as we go. We're going to work our way into the bar. Barman's going to give us a hard time. He's going to chase us to a lift. That lift is going to take us upstairs into the hallways, where we're going to have to link the puzzles that we learned about here into here, and use what we learned so that kind of interlinks between levels. We are going to have to navigate this awful creature, the housekeeper, and then when we finally manage to escape, we're going to get into a lift that malfunctions, takes us down, down, down into the deep down, dark, deep down depths of the hotel, where we are going to run into our final boss, the siren, this horrible creature here. And then we are going to finish the game. But we decided collectively to have an ambiguous end, so we don't know if Frill makes it or not. So something is going to happen. There's going to be a problem in here, and we're going to figure all of that out. But for now, I'm going to bring chat back up on screen, and I would like some feedback on what you guys think of this as a linear system. Oh, and I've just ruined it. There you go. There you go. Right, where's chat? Where are you guys? Yes, Ethan, Evil. What's up, Ethan? How are you doing? Ethan is another person who's going to be absolutely stoked about the Veronica remake, by the way. There you go. Now you guys can see you guys again. Say hi, chat. Yay, swimming pool. Skeleton Cleek loves it. Good, good, good. Maggie Max and Catty, this is peak. Chat saying in that area will end up in the sewage from where the escape. Ooh. Oh, oh. Saying that is great. I like that. I like that a lot. That's actually really cool. This area here, we could end up that our little heroine, where is she? She ends up getting sucked into a drainage system of some description. So this area is going to have to be drained somewhere. Perhaps at the end of this fight, when it all kicks off, she has to take refuge somewhere because something's going to happen, right? And it's going to cause us to have to get the heck out of Dodge. We're going to have to get out of this hotel for one reason or another. And when we decide on what that is, Frill is going to have to, because I keep reading Catsy's name all over these because she's got watermarked, as she should, as most artists should. In fact, all artists should watermark your work. But yeah, so Frill is going to be sucked into a drainage system of some description, and it's going to spit her out into the ocean, potentially. And we won't know her fate. What we might do, though, is we might incorporate this Sasha's serpent design. And it might just appear as like a cameo creature, something in the distance. And we don't know if we don't know if this got Frill. We don't know if she was subject to its wrath, or if she managed to escape somehow. Because again, we're leaving the ending ambiguous. But yeah, the sewage system could spit her out into the ocean, and this could be her fate. This could be what happens. She's pulled under the waves by this thing, and then we fade to black. Okay, I like that a lot. Saying that's a great contribution. Well done. I really like that. Excellent. Oh god, I've been sitting on my foot for too long. God damn it. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I'm going to scroll back up and just have a little look at some of these. Great story structure. Thank you, Alex. I think it's cool. Hey, Katsy, who's this about? Yeah, Mochi's asking the right questions. This is good. Yeah, I'm thinking it's good so far. Gemini, quick question about my submission. I've got a bit nervous about it because it's become complex to the point where it's not really a normal submission anymore. Are you fine with complex submissions? The submission will be 13 to 14,000 words and take 1 to 2 hours to fully read. Keep in mind, you can take breaks and you don't have to read it all in one go. You can also take notes while reading it to keep track. I know you said you're fine with lengthy posts, but you never said if you were fine with complex ones. I've been working on this character for 1.5 years and I'm very excited and nervous to show them off, but I need to make sure you're able to consume them. That is all. Vibe check, man. I think it is inspired that you've spent so much time creating a concept that you are so passionate about that you can create a dialogue or a text or a pattern that's going to take upwards of an hour to read, right? I've written stories that don't take that long to read based on The Nowhere and Little Nightmares. It just speaks to your enthusiasm and your motivation as a creator. I get that you're nervous about it, and that is absolutely fine because I get nervous before I release every single video. I get nervous before I go live. I'm nervous now, right? I'm nervous because I'm on the internet in front of you guys pitching an idea that I think is pretty cool, and some of you guys are probably thinking this sucks. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. You know, I always have to go into it with that mindset, but I am prepared to receive that criticism should it come, and you have to be as well. I would be enthused to read about your character. I am perfectly all right with taking the time to read about them and to learn about them and to utilize them to the best of my ability. Now, what I will say is the fact that your submission will take so long to read and digest and to understand fully, I don't feel like it's something that we could just sort of throw in. You know, we couldn't just be like, yeah, we got this character. This character looks cool. Let's put him in this environment. Like, it would have to be a very detailed, well thought out, structured storyline that would have to make sense, and we'd have to tie it in canonically, and we'd have to pay very particular attention to your character's nuance because you've spent so much time creating this character. To give somebody else any kind of creative direction can mess with your original design, which is something that you risk by opening your character up to a community concept like this one. So you are more than welcome to share your character with me personally. I'd love to read about it. I think it's great. Like we were talking about Watch earlier on, which was Mochi's original character design. Katsy's original design for Frill was originally pitched to me as well, and I think it's excellent. And there's a lot of other ones in here as well that I look back on. let me remember one off the top of my head. So we had Mercus. Mercus was another character design where he's got like a Cthulhu style arm, and he's kind of been warped and affected by the Nowhere in one way or another. We have Garden, who was a character who did it, Aspen Groves. Aspen Groves committed a character that we voted on as well that I thought was really cool, and that character had such a unique design that it was really hard not to fall in love with them based on their appearance. It's very much like Dime, right? It gives me Dime vibes. Kip comes up with these kind of character concepts all the time. And there is so much to see over on their channel as well. Just GKS is such an amazing creator. The Overman has created so many characters, mostly residents. So if you want some like resident ideas or resident inspiration, look at the Overman's channel. He's come up with some really, really cool ones. My point is, I love that you're really passionate about this, and I sympathize with the fact that you're worried that it's gonna like upset me because it takes so long to read, and I'm gonna be sitting there rolling my eyes like, for crying out loud, is this still going on and on and on? Oh my God. That's not how I work. I don't think if I see a massive lengthy post and something like that, my thoughts aren't immediately, oh my God, this is so long, it's going to take up so much of my time. What annoys me about it is the fact that I want to read it. I want to sit for an hour and a half and read a 13 to 14,000 word documentary about your character and why they fit in the Nowhere and why you were inspired to create them and why it's had such a huge impact on you, right? Because I feel it's very personal and unique. And if you're prepared to pour that much time, heart, and soul into something, it's bound to be a great read. And I believe that. So even if I didn't get a chance to sit and read it, I feel like it's something you should publish. It's something you should be proud of and open to criticism. You should put it on your own channel. You should have concepts drawn up. You should speak to some of the artists in the community if you can't draw yourself and bring it up with them. Even design a video like this one where you create a storyline for your character to go through and then see what you could do about animating it like we're doing here. You know, obviously we've created residents, we've created areas and concept ideas for environments, we've created the protagonist, we've created her nuances and the different ways that she'll be animated. It's so much fun, and people love this kind of thing. And the reason people are here right now doing this is because they love this kind of thing. It's so much fun to be inspired, but it's even better to get positive feedback on it from people who share that passion. So please, for the love of God, share it with me. Even if I don't get to sit for an hour and a half, read it personally, and then list you like a detailed response, it's definitely something you should be sharing with everyone else. Please do not think that the fact that it's extensive makes it bad. It doesn't. Games like this and universes like this thrive on deep, intricate detail. Do not stifle it for the sake of making other people comfortable reading it. If they love it and they want to know it and understand it, the length of it will help because it draws depth. All I will say is if there's anything that's supposed to be secret about the character that you would like revealed later, don't advertise that. Take into account what Tazier do best. Sure, don't tell. Now, where? Sorry, and I have a tendency to bugger off in the middle of chat. There you are. Right, sorry. Right, scroll down. Gotta mention. Yep, straight up. Everyone cook designing Frill. Yeah, absolutely. Gemini, can I make the boss fight chase scene rooms? Katsi can modify them. But you can design them absolutely. If you think that you've got like some ideas for boss fights, like I really like this one. The one that's going through my head the most at the moment is this concept of, where is she? The housekeeper. The housekeeper, I think, is going to have the most fun when it comes to designing their environment because their boss fight area is going to be this hallway, and the hallway is going to consist of rooms that we have to navigate by getting around. Not that hallway. Sorry. I want to bring it up on screen so you guys can see it. There. This hallway. She's going to have to navigate the rooms in this hallway. So having her rooms designed so that they're really awkward and messy. So she kind of has to clean as she goes and she has to move around very robotic because of a dump truck sized turning circle. It's going to make her a bit easier to navigate. Not so much to hide from, but easier to get away from so that we can inconvenience her a lot more easily than we could inconvenience someone who's really nimble and easy to get around, like the supervisor. You will not outpace the supervisor, not for a second. That's why you have to keep on running through things and over things and under things and getting away from her in ways that she finds harder to navigate than you do. And that's what we're going to be incorporating here with this character's design. So yeah, absolutely, Cyan. If you think you've got some good ideas, feel free to share them with Katsy and ask if she'll be good enough to draw them up. Now, I offer Katsy services a lot, and that shouldn't be taken out of context. Katsy is a professional artist, and I want it to be understood that what she does is hard and takes time, and you can't just randomly throw ideas at her. This isn't. I'm not talking directly to you, saying I'm talking to everyone in chat who's listening at the moment because a lot of people have great ideas. I have great ideas, but I can't draw very well, and I need someone who's capable of drawing up these concepts. And while they might not all get used, Katsy's working with me on this project specifically, and she's offered her services to make it easier, and I am very grateful for that. But when I say ask Katsy to redraw it, I mean ask it. Like it doesn't mean Jem said you have to do this. You can pitch it to Katsy, you can add her on Discord or whatever you want, and like pop onto her YouTube channel, and you can make a suggestion. You can offer her your artwork and say, look, I've drawn this particular concept, could you redraw it? I think it'll be really cool. But she can say no. And it's important to remember that she's going to be overwhelmed because I've got her doing 101 different things. She's also got university, not to mention a bunch of other personal things that you can't put pressure on people, is all I'm saying. I'm saying that if any of you do want your concepts drawing up by Katsy specifically, be reasonable, be patient, be polite, and be respectful. What she does is exceedingly hard, and she's able to pull it off very, very quickly and very, very effectively each and every time, and she doesn't get enough credit for it. So please note that if I'm saying pitch it to Katsy, you're more than welcome to. But she's also in a position where she can decline just based on the fact that I've given her too much to do. And if you take the time you need to understand that if you're prepared to put a lot of time into designing something that might not get used, that's fine. Like I'm prepared to to pour my heart and soul into videos that I still have stashed away. Like I have videos that I literally spent weeks making that will never see the light of day because I'm just not they don't fit the directive. They don't fit the narrative. They don't fit the channel. They're just not fit for purpose. And some of the artworks that are submitted just won't be. And that's one of the sad things about doing something like this. I had like 43 submissions for characters that people wanted to see in this episode, and we can only use one of them, at least for the first episode. And I don't want that to sound like everybody else wasted their time. You know, the other 42 people that submitted characters, they all suck, and none of their characters will ever get used because they might. And it's not to say that your idea won't be used in the future, but it might not be used here and now. So if you are going to put the work in and submit it, I want you to know that I will consider it, but it's not guaranteed. That's all. Just want to be clear on a couple of points because obviously what we're doing here is hard and it takes a long time, and it's very easy to upset people because when you get so many people trying to contribute something and they all feel like their ideas are gold and everyone has an idea and they'd like some um validation. You know, everyone wants to share their character and everyone wants everybody to love it, and that's just not possible, unfortunately. It sucks. Believe me, I know. I've entered a lot of competitions and my work doesn't even get looked at, my ideas don't even get thought about, and it's very easy to feel defeated by that, but you can't. It's the internet. You have to be able to embrace failure and be like, you know what, not this time, but maybe next time. Um, But just please don't get upset about it, and please don't get angry at anybody or impatient or disrespectful in any way. We're trying to do this as a community, and the idea is to do it together and all remain friends. And that's why I'm allowing people to vote, and I'm going with the majority so as to piss off the least amount of people when I have to make an inevitable decision. That's all. Anyway, where were we? Stinkles with fire writing. I saw The Bodyguard. Yes, yes. Um, yes, Maki, your concept arts are very good. I was very impressed. I feel like a lot of your concept arts, they remind Just GKS is like this as well. You and Just GKS have very similar ways of drawing up the designs that remind me so much of the concept art from the art books. When I look at the original concept art, the sketch work and things like that for the level designs and the character designs and stuff, when I look at your work and GKS's work, I immediately think it looks like it came straight out of the art book. They are very, very good. Katzy, you inspire me to make more original art. Sasha, you should make loads. You should be endlessly working on art constantly. Like we even we brought this in, and look at this thing. Look at this thing. Just some appreciation for how good this concept is. It's brilliant. I couldn't not use it, right? I had to just even as a cameo appearance, it had to make it. It had to make a show because I was like, "There's no way I'm not putting this in. It's too good." You should do stuff like this all the time, Sasha. It's incredible. And yes, the bodyguard. Oh, the bodyguard. Sorry, I'm trying to read a couple of chats as well. I'd like it if I could get some ideas. I'm trying to plan out a little nightmare story with my OCs, and I'll mainly take place at an orphanage. So I'd love to get some area with the enemy ideas. If y'all give me some, yeah, that'd be cool. And guys, if you've got an idea for an orphanage, then absolutely roll with it. It could also be a really good. So something that might be worth considering, Puppy. I don't know if you've heard it yet. And this is me massively self-promoting here, so feel free to ignore everything I'm about to say. But I wrote a short story called Hunger, the Untold Story. Well, I say short story, it's 45 minutes long, and it reads like a creepypasta, but it's based on the Maw, and it follows a story of a group of children that we don't really get to interact with, but we do see. And if you read the story, well, you listen to the story because I narrate it with sound effects and stuff. I worked really hard on the video, but but if you like that kind of thing, I that was kind of what I had in my head was this sort of orphanage design where it's like takes a lot of it takes place within and around the dorm rooms that you see on the Mall, where the children are collectively held in that like prison area with Roger. So yeah, if you wanted some inspiration that you want to hear read as if I would write it, I literally did that. That's what that video Hunger was all about. And I hope you're able to find some inspiration if you do decide to listen to it. Mm. His comments on Gemini is making me more excited to make more inviting. Yes, you should. You should. Mark you genuinely should, because when I first started talking to Just GKS, they sent me a bunch of messages which were just like, I sculpt Little Nightmares characters. Wondered if you take a look, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a look. I love to see Little Nightmares creatives, um, and his work his work. Oh my days. It's just brilliant, and it gets better every single time I go to his channel. He's taken a break recently. I'm hoping to have a conversation with him about it. But yeah, I really think that he could do with some support, and you and him share a very similar art style, especially when it comes to creative concepts like sketch work. Like I haven't seen your actual artwork, like a fully fledged, fully rendered, colored in design or anything, or if you even do that. But judging on your sketch work alone and your understanding of the developmental process when it comes to Little Nightmares and the Nowhere, it's excellent. All of your stuff is on point. Just to be clear, I won't say no unless there's a really fucking good reason. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Mm. Ah! Sorry. Touch. Okay. Yes, KitKat Catsy 1996. Here is my Discord name. Feel free to add Catsy on Discord. She's made it clear that that is something you are welcome to do. Oops, I clicked off stream. Sasha, how dare you? I was complimenting you and you leave. Unbelievable. I strive to be that good at art. Kip, your art is brilliant. It's very unique. I endlessly do art, but I'm bad. Oh, Alison, you are a beginner. This is the thing. I don't think there's such a thing as a bad artist. I think a bad artist is somebody that doesn't practice. My parents are artists, both of them, and they're very, very talented, and they spent their entire lives doing it. They raised me on the money they made from art. They were both tattoo artists, were my parents, and they worked together. And that's basically the reason I could live. You know, they used it to feed me, they used it to clothe me, right? It's they took art very seriously because it was their job. But I have never been an artist or what I would consider an artist. But when I show my parents work that I've done, they'll often compliment it because they know that while I'm not a skilled artist, I still have passion for what I created. And Alison, that's what you do. That's why I like your videos, because it shows that even though you're not a professional artist, it's still a creative process, and it's just you showing the world, look, this is who I am, this is what I like to do. It's not the best, but I don't care. What do you guys think? And because you're brave enough and courageous enough to share your work, even though you know that it's not the best, it invites a wholesome community to join you and get behind you on it. And I'm sure a lot of the guys in chat already have, and most of them would agree with me because these are great, supportive, wholesome people who we've got in the chat right now. But also, you will invite trolls. There will be people who will literally come on your video just to be hurtful, because that's the internet and that's the way it works. If you can't take criticism, don't put it on. But I've spoken to you personally, and I know that you just take it as it comes. Right? You understand why people say things, and you just say, look, I'm not Picasso, I'm not Rembrandt, it's not the Mona Lisa, it's just me. I've been drawing for a couple of months, I've been painting for even less, and I thought I'd share my work with you. If you don't like it, bye. It's fine. You know, it's totally cool. And you take on the criticism and you constantly try to improve. And that's the thing. Most of your videos that I've seen are based on your improvements. And as subtle as they are, and as minor as they are, they're improvements. A bad artist doesn't make improvements. A bad artist quits. My two OCs, Evie and Jules. I believe I actually submitted them to you at one point. Their siblings went running away. Yes, you did, Puppy. I've actually seen them. I think I've seen them on your channel, and you definitely did submit them to me because I've read about those before. This community is so talented. Yeah, they literally are. Skeleton Cleek, we've got artists, we've got music producers, we've got 3D renderers, we've got game designers, we've got story writers. There's somebody, we've got martial artists. We've got all sorts in here. Michael mentioned. Who mentioned Michael? Donut Monkey, you should make a Little Nightmares game because you're so good at story. Thank you, Donut Monkey. I appreciate that very, very much. That was actually something that we were considering as well. If it ever comes to pass that the Oldest Nightmare comes out of retirement and decides to back me up with creating a Little Nightmares game, I would be more than enthused to do something like that. Obviously, it wouldn't be something you guys pay for or anything. It'd literally just be a fan made game, It'd be like by fans for fans, inspired by the Little Nightmares franchise. Because I'm not looking to make any money off it, and I'm definitely not looking to piss off Bandai or Supermassive or the Little Nightmares creators by just stepping on their toes and straight up stealing their IP. There's rules against that, and I stand for them. But it doesn't make me feel any less inspired to want to create something that I can actually take control of, because that's like the next step. It's one thing to imagine it, it's another thing to draw it, it's another step to collectively create something like this and build like a whole animated story around it. And the last piece of the puzzle is to get involved, is to step into that world, take control of the character and be able to walk through those hallways, duck under those beds, explore those environments in your own way, in your own time. But that takes so much collective talent. Talent that we are coming pretty close to having right here in the chat right now. dysfunction, toxic family members, and the fear of separation. That's really cool, and some very distinct and very relatable childhood fears baked into that. I like them. Uh, Michael. Who mentioned Michael? Sasha. Michael. Mike. Who's Michael? Okay. Okay. Um, for those of you who don't know, because this is a meme at this point. This is here you go. You're about to see evidence that I'm not an artist. Oh wait, there's my seamstress, the original. That's the one I drew. I tell you what, let me go Big Gem just for a sec. While I show you guys this because I need to make this clear. So a while ago, I was just doodling as I do. I was just like scribbling while I was on the phone, and I drew an octopus. I drew this. I drew that octopus. I drew this octopus, and people really, really liked this octopus for some reason, and they thought he was fun, and he was just like a little creative design kind of thing, and another creator called Step, who I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, creates a lot of Little Nightmares content, made made that his profile picture, and he said, "What's the octopus's name?" And I was like, "It's Veronica," and I based it on the Veronica song. Those of you guys that know the theory by Just Jord from way back in the day, that's also kind of a meme now. I named it after that. I was like, yeah, and it sort of became a long running thing, and it's kind of an in joke within the community and even within like my own family. Now, whenever I see it, it's like every time I see an octopus, like a little pink octopus of any description, it's like, Michael! Yes, Michael! And so we have two different concepts. So the original is Veronica. This is Veronica, okay? But Katsy decided to make me a present. As we love Michael. Michael, you get so much love. Look at how many people love Michael. But yeah, this is Katsy's rendition. She drew me Michael. I give you Michael. And again, you can see all of the little references that are baked into this one. Feel free to pick them out at your leisure. I'll pull you up on screen so everybody can see themselves. There you go. Enjoy your own appearance. Look at all the chat. Michael, 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 Michael. Oh, Rexo, you can stop drawing at any point. Just don't stop forever. And so I ended up with actual, like, I ended up with Veronica and Michael. And these guys live in my bedroom. These guys actually live in my room on top of my dresser, but I brought them in here as background characters because of the amount of times Michael gets mentioned in my streams, and it's all Step's fault. God damn it, Michael. Yes, you're taking over everything. Michael, stay. Sit properly. Damn it. Michael is peak. Let's sacrifice Michael. Yay, Michael. Yes, Alison actually as well. Alison, the little artist, will draw all kinds of stuff. So she tends to use watercolor paints, and she's painting stuff like, she'll do some memey ones as well. But she does hot air balloons and insects and bees and coralline based stuff and flowers and fruits and all sorts of other things. But now and again, she'll draw me a nice little nightmares picture. And she drew a really, really good gnome. She actually drew me a gnome with a sausage, and yeah, it's dope. She made a short about it, and it did really well. And I think I commented on that one as well because I thought it was really cool. But yeah, sometimes she draws like little nightmares content. In fact, if any of you guys can think of anything that you believe you would like to see Alison attempt to paint, feel free to drop it in the chat because she makes like 6 videos a week, so there's a good chance she'll actually get around to trying it. And also pop over to her channel and subscribe as well if you want to show some support to a little friend of mine, because I think she's got a really wholesome idea behind her channel. It's just cool. You get to be like childish and creative and just have fun being you and not worry about what everyone else thinks. Donut's a genius. Why? What if Michael is the villain of the second DLC antagonist in Little Nightmares 3 because it looks water? Oh, it's confirmed. The Little Nightmares Shores, Little Nightmares 3's DLC from Secrets of the Spiral. We're not going to get to see the ferryman, and we're not going back to the mall. It's gonna be Michael. Michael's the real bastard. He's the proper enemy. Look at him, Cthulhu looking ass. Oh, I love it. Oh, what a guy, Michael. Okay then, guys. I think I'm gonna have a sacrifice. Who wants it? I'm calling the stream here, guys, because we have a nice linear idea. We know where we're going to start, we know the path we're going to take, and we know where we're going to end. And Katsy knows what she needs to be working on at the moment, and I am going to be communicating with Katsy on more artworks. We'll get some PNGs done. We'll get some redrawn layouts. As far as like some of these environments go, now that we know exactly what we're going to be doing, some of these you see will remain largely unchanged. Other things we're going to have to work in, like when it comes to like figuring out the puzzles and stuff. But today's stream was all about figuring out the timeline. We know where we start, we know how the journey goes, and we know how it ends. One last thing that I didn't mention, but I'm gonna, because I think Noah's here and I think it's important. The siren is a VIP. The reason there was music coming out of the hotel at the beginning, which is what drew Frill here towards it, is the fact that the siren was putting on a show. She is a special guest at the hotel because she sings, right? And although she's not pleasant to look at necessarily, she is a guest in the hotel. She's staying here, and that's why she's been approved a private quarters. That's why they sealed off the pool area where she's going to sing. But the pool area is going to be guarded, and it's going to be guarded by a concept that Noah drew up and then was redrawn by Katsy. And it's going to be the bodyguard. That is the bodyguard, and it's going to serve to protect her. And it's a gnome. It's basically what Noah thinks, or at least a concept of, what would happen if a gnome spent too long in the nowhere. What if you become a gnome, you're trapped in the nowhere, and you eventually grow? What happens to gnomes? Do they grow? And this is just an idea like, what if gnomes grew, right? What happens to the gnomes when they get bigger? This. So it's enslaved, basically. This thing, the bodyguard, is enslaved. It's trapped here, and it serves as a bodyguard to her. And its only job is going to be to protect her room, her area, her safe space. And we are going to have to find a way to navigate him. He is going to make fighting her particularly difficult because she's in the water and he can fly. And how we're going to work that boss fight is to be discussed in an upcoming video. But these are the enemies we're going to fight. It's going to be a long episode because it's going to be the pilot episode, and I wanted to give as many people a chance to get their concepts in as I could, but they had to fit linearly with what I had in my head. So just to recap, we're going to start in a wilderness area, we're going to do a tutorial, we're going to work our way towards the hotel following the music, we're going to run into the groundskeeper who's going to chase us into the hotel lobby. The reception area is going to be vacant apart from a couple of patrons who are looking to get in. He can't get in, they're blocking the way, and she like there's we're reworking it. This is me just like spitballing real quick. We leave, we follow the sign, we go to the bar, we have to solve a puzzle in the bar, but the barman catches us, he chases us out, he chases us to a lift, we go up the lift, we end up in these rooms here. We navigate these rooms trying to solve a puzzle to power up a lift on the other side so that we can get down into the back of the reception area, where like a parking lot would be. So essentially like a docking bay for, like, people who are leaving the hotel, presumably in body bags, and they're, getting on a ship. Like dumped in somewhere, getting ready to be put on a ship or dumped into the ocean because we're riverside. But we have to navigate this creature, the housekeeper, who's going to be awkward. But when we do, we power up the lift, we go down, but it crashes, malfunctions. We end up in the cellar, in the basement, in this private pool area where we're going to do battle with the siren, and she's going to be defended by the bodyguard. At which point we're going to escape, or something's going to happen. We're going to conduct the fight in one way or another. We're going to get flushed out through the sewer system, and we're going to end up in the maw of this. Maybe. We don't know. But this is going to be the last thing we see before we fade to black. That's the way the story's going to go. I think that is a pretty cool way to do it. That's not to say this is exactly, we're doing this, that is that, right? No problem. But there are some really, really cool concepts there, and I love it. And I love the fact that all of you guys have been able to contribute to this, because all of your ideas, all of your thoughts, all of your chat, all of your comments, all of your, not donations, what's the word, submissions, everything has contributed. Even just you watching the stream and making your voice heard and voting on the polls and stuff has led to this being the design that it is. We're cooking. Katy, did you make the gnome bodyguard? It was drawn by Noah, but well, sorry, no, it was conceptualized by Noah, but it was drawn by Katy. Yes, yeah, and Noah's in the chat as well. Welcome back, we animal girl. Love the gnome bod. Gemini, read my comment about my single boss. Oh, saying. My art's being in the file. It is being in the file, because that's the thing, saying, even though it's not in this particular episode, it doesn't mean that your characters won't feature in the future, because you made the submission and you worked hard on it and we redrew it and everything. It doesn't fit in, well, it would fit, it would absolutely fit in this environment. It's just when it came down to the vote, the majority voted for the siren over the singers, so we went with the siren idea to keep the larger community happy. It doesn't mean we're not using your singers, it just won't be in episode 1. The same as Frill, we're using Frill. But that's not to say that we won't use other protagonists that other people submitted as well, because we could use Garden in episode 2, we could use Mercus, or we could use another character altogether, somebody that we haven't even seen yet. We could use Watch. There's so many different ideas. We could use one of Puppy Queens, we could use Evie. And there's a bunch of different ideas that we could use, but we can't fit them all into one video. But that's all that is, don't worry. Oh, wait, Michael. God damn it, Michael. Right. So, I think we're going to call it here, guys. This has been dope. I've had a lot of fun here. I hope you guys have had a nice stream and had some fun plotting this with me. The next stream, I'm not sure when it's going to be. I tend to do these like once a month, so it'll probably be towards the end of July when we get to do another one based on this. I will be going live before then, because in July, I'll be going live to do the F Vortex's website, the cutting room floor. We're going to be going through the cutting room floor, and we're going to be just playing with a couple of ideas there. But for now, who do we believe is going to be the sacrifice for today? I'm going to put a vote on. I'm going to vote Big Gem first. 1 second. Oh, there you go. Big Gem time. Big Gem. Stole it from Big Jord. Okay. Let's see. Which of you? Would anybody like to volunteer themselves to be my sacrifice for today? I'm going to end this poll. The teacher won, which is very, very positive. I like to see that. The teacher with 59%. The least people are afraid of the supervisor out of everybody in this. I personally am the least afraid of the lady. Not to say that the lady isn't a very sinister concept, and she is. But I just think it's. I think I put a bit too much stock in appearance rather than the subtlety that is the lady's concept. Rexor. Right, let me engage with my audience. Start a poll. I'm debating who the last one should be. Which of you's got the most protein in you? Not you. Start poll. Who is going to be my sacrifice for the day? Your choices are Rexor, Noah, Kip, or Skeleton Clique. Whoever loses, or whoever gets the most votes, will be sacrificed to me. I'm going to chop you up. I'm going to ban you from chat. I'm going to stick you in the oven. I'm going to serve you a la caramali with Michael. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to vote on that. And while you're voting, I'm going to cultivate a culture based on cults of ancient scum, culminated by an author who is basically a... I can't say that one. Remembering can be scary, there's a rest in the pet cemetery. I feel at home and I'm going to war. Oh no, it can't be a tie. It cannot be a tie. I won't allow it. I won't allow it. I'll like that. You guys have 30 seconds to fix that. or you've both had it. Also, if you guys haven't already, please drop a little thumbs up on the stream if you've liked it and if you enjoy this concept, because obviously the more people we can get through to with this idea, the more involved the Little Nightmares community will be in projects like this moving forwards, and we can get a better understanding of what the community at large would like. So yeah, if you haven't already, please like the video, please subscribe, and please say your last words. Kip. Kip Animations, you have been designated as my protein source for this evening. What are your last words? Oh no! Oh no, you thought I was broken? Fed to the wolves, now they're all choking. Oh, Kip, that's a poor choice. Last words, my brother. Oh, guys, let me get some eyeballs and some more sevens in the chat for a very valuable member of the community who we are saying goodbye to because it's dinner time and I'm hungry. Goodbye, Kip. It is done. Michael, it's done. Another victim has been claimed. I'm gonna go enjoy a Kip burger. We will remember your sacrifice. We must feed the Gemini. That's the only way I can theorize, guys. The only way I can do this is if you feed me. I need sustenance. And your pain sustains me. I demand sacrifice. But for now, guys, that's going to do it. This has been a dope stream. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun working with you all. Again, thank you all so much for your generous donations, your contributions, and your kind words. And I will see you all next time. Except you, Kip. Bye.